At the start of the year, Zowie came out with their new mouse U2, making a lot of claims, and also their new design, specifically made for claw grip gamers. And I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty intrigued by this mouse, but I had no reason to do so because my G Pro Superlight was working just fine, and I'd been using that mouse for 2.5 years now, but unfortunately, recently it started giving me some issues where my mouse just automatically stopped working. And I was like, you know what, now's the time where I need to go for some new options and start exploring for better mouses. And I was looking on the internet, and of course there were so many good options like the new Dex 2 and even the V3 Pro, but I still had a special place for this U2 in my heart, considering it was specifically made for claw grip gamers, and I'm one of the claw grip players myself. I was like, you know what, Zowie is such an old brand, and especially in the CS community, it has had so much name. I was like, you know what, might as well just give this mouse a shot, and I ordered it. But trust me when I say this, when I looked at the price tag, I was thinking for days, should I buy it or should I not? It's a super expensive mouse, especially if you look at the price in India. It's priced at 19,990, which is 236.89 USD. And yes, that's super expensive, but luckily enough, I got this mouse on a little bit of an off, which was 16,840, which is still pretty expensive, but it is what it is. And today the mouse arrived, so let's do some unboxing. All right, let's begin the unboxing, right? And let's have a look at the box as well, considering it is also something you're paying for. And this is quite an expensive mouse, so I want you guys to have a look at every single thing in details. I mean, this is how the entire box looks like. This is the bottom side, of course, a lot of stuff written. Don't exactly want to get into it. But let's start the unboxing right off the rip. You're going to see a little bit of this seal, which you're going to need to peel off. And of course, and as you do so, it's on the both sides. So let me do it. All right. Should fall straight out of it. There we go. And as soon as you get into it, there we go. This is what you're paying for the most. And considering I'm a claw grip user, this mouse actually feels pretty comfortable in my hands, I'm not gonna lie. This mouse feels perfect for my grip. This is how I like to hold my mouse. I hope you guys can see it properly, but yeah, there we go. There's a lot of stuff which we're not going to get into right now. Just going to keep the mouse aside. But underneath this thing, there's a user manual. Of course, how to exactly use the mouse. Everything is right over here as well. And you've also got extra skates. Interesting. In case if these skates wear off, you've got the extra skates as well, just in case. Which there's a big chance probably after a year or two these skates are probably going to start to wear off, so that's when you can instantly change the skates and not be in any of a problem. But yeah, let's these are pretty much the warranty card and stuff like that. Just going to keep it aside for now. And yeah, just the user manual. And this is the coolest thing about this mouse, I'm not gonna lie. This is the coolest thing about the mouse. This is also the charging station, and it's also a receiver, which in my opinion is pretty freaking sick. It's the enhanced receiver for Zowie, so there's also a bit of a place where you can connect the pin directly to your PC, and you can pretty much put your mouse like this on the charging station, and it instantly plugs in. Considering I haven't really unwrapped the mouse yet properly, so yeah, I can't really show you guys a live tutorial of that. I will tell you guys my experience on this mouse after a couple of weeks. I'll upload another video if you guys want. But there's also a box inside, and yeah, how did I forget this? An extender. If you guys want the extender, it's also over here. Of course, as we know, Type C to USB. It's pretty much like the classic extender, the one that you get with the G Pro as well. And underneath this, there's nothing. Okay, so in the past unboxing videos that I've seen, Zowie actually gives you two different types of cables. But this time around, they haven't done so. They've just given one cable. And I hope this is one of the flexible cables and it's not like the stiff one that the usual wireless mouses give, especially even the G Pro Superlight. That's what you get with that. But yeah, this dongle is over here. Then you've also got the extender, which I'm just gonna keep it inside. I don't really need to use it right now. But let's look at the cable, honestly. This cable's pretty important. If it's one of the flexible cables, then that's a good thing. If it's not, then I'm super pissed. And it's actually not. It's one of the basic cables. If I'm not wrong, you're supposed to get one more box inside this, which has the flexible cable, but maybe they removed it. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe in the new boxes, they did not give those cables anymore. But yeah, I mean, I've just got one single box for cable. That's it. So that's pretty interesting. I've got a basic cable. Of course, one of the best things you can ask for in this mouse, that's the receiver. And you've got actually two receivers, considering one is the dongle and one is the enhanced receiver that you get. So anything you prefer, you can use it with this mouse. You've also got the extender. You've got the cable as well for the connection. And yeah, pretty much like the basic stuff. I thought we're gonna get two cables, but unfortunately that's not the case. We've got the extra skates, the user manual, the warranty card, and all the basic stuff. I don't really want to get into it, but yeah, let's start unwrapping the mouse. Yeah, looking at the skates as well, they feel pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the mouse as well, the texture, the way I can hold it, and even the balancing, it seems pretty nice. Look at it. Balancing, it seems pretty nice. Feels pretty good. It's gliding pretty smoothly on my mouse pad as well. No issues over there. So yeah, so far, so good. Some of the key features about this mouse. Of course, this mouse comes in with the Pixar 3395 optical sensor and the Huano blue dot switches, which in my opinion, the switches feel pretty crisp. And if you look underneath the mouse, now you've got something pretty exciting. This mouse is pretty much like any other Zowie mouse, which is pretty much plug and play. It's got 1000 Hz of polling rate, and you've also got a DPI button. If you look at the user manual, it's got 6 DPI stages, still 3200 DPI, which is more than enough in my opinion. You don't even need 3200. I myself use 1600, and a lot of the pro players as well, they probably use 800 or 1600 themselves. So yeah, it's more than enough. And even 1000 Hz polling rate, in my opinion, right now, it's more than enough for video games. If anyone is looking at the video and saying that, yeah, 1000 Hz, it's a big turnoff for you, there's something wrong with you, my friend. 1000 Hz is more than enough right now. You don't even need more than 1000 Hz. Yes, I do understand there's a lot of these mouses in market which have 8000 Hz polling rate and stuff like that. But let's be honest, a lot of these games don't even support that polling rate. 1000 Hz is more than enough currently, and in my opinion, it's not a turnoff at all. And if you want to switch the DPI stages, there's specific colors to do so. 400 DPI, which will be red color, 800, which will be purple, and stuff like that. So let's try switching the DPI right now, and I'm going to try to do so. All right. The purple means I'm on 800 now. This is 1000. This is 1200. And I think so. This is supposed to be 1600 DPI. Yes, I think so. This is 1600 DPI. So that's perfect. I'm on 1600 DPI. That's what I like to use. And we're pretty much good. Let's talk a little bit about this enhanced receiver that comes in with the mouse itself. Now, of course, as the name suggests, it's the enhanced receiver, and I'm not gonna lie, it's honestly such a cool thing, considering if you just want to charge the mouse, all you need to do is just place your mouse like this, and you can see those dots on the mouse. They indicate the battery level. Even on the manual itself, it says about the battery level and how it indicates and stuff like that. If you see all three lights, that means the mouse is fully charged and it's 100%. So I do not need to charge my mouse right now. It's pretty chill. And even speaking of the battery backup, man, it's pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a lot of reviews on this mouse saying that they've been using the mouse for days and they still don't need to charge it. So I assume it's got a pretty strong battery life as well. You don't really need to worry about it. And considering you're paying so much, so of course it's gotta be one of the best, right? I'm not really gonna try to get into that nerdy detail where how much delays on the switches, because let's be honest, as a human being, it's pretty much unnoticeable. You cannot even notice what sort of a delay it is. those minimum microseconds delay, you can't even, milliseconds delay, you can't even notice those as human beings. So it's completely, so let's not get into it. Start talking about the build quality on this mouse. Just like any other Zowie mouse, this mouse is built like a freaking tank. Now, honestly speaking, I don't see any issues with the build on this mouse myself. Even the clicks, they seem pretty solid. There's no issues with the click. There's no side off or anything that's happening with the clicks as well. They're pretty solid. They feel pretty nice. And of course, just like any other Zowie mouse, it seems pretty rigid, I'm not gonna lie. Considering it does not even weigh that much, just 60 grams. That's pretty solid in my opinion. And honestly speaking, this is one of the lightest mouse that Zowie has came up with, so I'm pretty impressed, I'm not gonna lie. And considering it's specifically made for claw grip, this mouse seems pretty comfy to me, I'm not gonna lie, especially when I'm holding it right now. It feels pretty good. But let's be honest, I would only be able to give a proper in-depth review when I use this mouse myself for at least the upcoming weeks, and then when I upload the video, I will give you guys a proper in-depth guide on what this mouse exactly is. I was also going through the user manual, and there's so many things that you can change. I mean, you can also change the click response time, you can also adjust the lift-off distance. There's so many things you can try and do with this user manual. It's crazy. There's a lot of things that this mouse offers. There's so many key features this mouse offers. But honestly speaking, as I mentioned, I need to use this mouse myself and try and test a lot of stuff, and that's the only time when I can tell you guys what exactly needs to be done, what tweaks you need to do if you do buy this mouse and whatnot. Because right now it's pretty raw, and considering I just bought it, so I don't exactly know the features myself, but there's definitely a lot of things you can do with this, especially the fact that you can change the lift-off distance and you can also change the response time on the key switches. That's pretty sick, but I'll try to get into it in the future videos. With that being said, this unboxing video comes to an end. If you guys definitely love this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel, because in the future I will come with a proper in-depth video on this mouse after using it at least for a week or two. So with that being said, thank you so much for dropping by. It means a lot. Peace.